Bonjour classe, aujourd'hui on va commencer leçon 16, mes voisins. Tournez à la page 228. And there's actually not a page number on that page, it's just the page after 227. Désolé, I'm sorry. So tournez à la page. On va parler de la famille, and we've talked about la famille before, but we're going to go into a little bit more detail and talk about more family members and how to talk about other people's family members. So you're going to fill in on the bottom half of that page where it says la famille. You've already got les grands-parents there. We already know who that is. Grands-parents. We know le grand-père, and you need to fill in this one. Le grand-père et la grand-mère. You also need to fill that in those two blank lines. La grand-mère. All right, we also call these in French, like we might say Grammy or Grandpa or something like that, something more casual. They might say Mamie or Papi. Mamie or Papi. You could write that down. Okay, les parents are the parents. Le père, we've seen before, is the father. La mère. They also call them maman and papa. Maman and papa. You might write those down as well. There's no blanks for them, but you might write it off to the side. Okay, la femme is the wife, and there's a space for that. Et le mari is the husband. There's also a space for that. You can write those down. La femme, le mari. The children is les enfants. Les enfants. So a child, depending on the gender of the child. Un enfant, une enfant. The brother is le frère. The sister, la sœur. The son would be le fils, and the daughter, la fille. The reason we're using the in front of all these is because we're working towards saying the son of my neighbor, or the son of my uncle, or the son of my friend, or something like that. So that's why we're saying the son and the daughter here. Le fils, you don't hear the L in le fils. La fille, the double L becomes like a Y sound, and we've heard that before. La fille. Une fille is a girl, if you remember that. La fille would be the daughter. So, autres membres de la famille, other members of the family, the relatives. Here's some more. La tante. L'oncle. You need to fill in l'oncle to the left of la tante on your sheet. L'oncle is the uncle. And we have l'apostrophe because of the two vowels. The cousin, le cousin. The cousin female, la cousine. Again, not to be confused with la cuisine, which is the kitchen in your house. This is la cousine. Here's some extra vocabulary. Demi. So like a half brother or sister. Demi-frère, demi-sœur. Beau and belle refers to a step-brother or sister or an in-law. Of course, it also means good-looking, handsome, or beautiful. So, beau-frère. Here we go. La belle-mère would be your stepmother. Les belles-sœurs would be the step-sisters. Le beau-frère would be a step-brother. Un bébé would be the baby. And you can write that down. So you've got some space down there at the bottom if you want to write those in. All right, let's talk about les animaux domestiques. Domesticated animals. First we have le chien, le chat. Some others that you have. Un chiot is a puppy. Un chaton is a kitten. Un poisson rouge is a goldfish. They call it a redfish. Un lapin is a bunny. Un furet Any guesses on that one? It's a ferret. Un oiseau is a bird. Un hamster is a hamster. Une souris is a mouse, and that also goes for your computer mouse. That's also called une souris. Some more. Un cheval. Maybe you have a horse. Un cochon d'Inde is a guinea pig. Une gerbille, a gerbil. Un lézard, a lizard. Un serpent, of course, a snake. Une araignée is a spider. Ugh, can't stand those. Un cochon is a pig. Un rat, a rat. Une grenouille is a frog. That's a very difficult word to say. One of the most difficult in French. Grenouille. Grenouille. Une tortue is a turtle. All right, so above the family vocabulary, you've got la possession avec de. So we're going to talk about possession. This is where we're coming into saying my brother or the brother of someone else. Okay, so how do we demonstrate possession in English? So possession is a verb meaning to have or to own. Is something we can use to talk about it, or we can use apostrophe s, or we can use possessive adjectives, my, your, his, her, its, our, and their. Or we can use possessive pronouns, mine, yours, his, hers, its, ours, and theirs. So for French, la possession we use avec de. To express possession, French speakers use the construction the noun plus de plus the owner. La mère de Thomas, so the mother of Thomas. Les parents de Claire, the parents of Claire, so this would be Claire's parents. Again, if there's a vowel sound, it's going to become des apostrophes. So le cousin d'Émilie, Emily's cousin, or the cousin of Emily. So basically, instead of apostrophe s, French speakers use de. La copine de Monique is Monique's friend. All right, so you got another handout at the door when you got here. So go ahead and grab that. It looks like that. You're going to use the clues given to complete the family tree. Write the name of each person in the appropriate oval. Numéro 1. Annie est la grand-mère de Marina. So what we have here is like a family tree. So you see Marina there. I'm going to go ahead and give you where le grand-mère goes, right? Because if it was her mother, it would go in the line directly above her. However, it's her grand-mère, so it's going to go at the top in either one of those two bubbles. Numéro 2, Jacques et Annie ont 3 enfants. Jacques et Annie ont 3 enfants. So now you should be able to fill in Jacques somewhere, because there should be 3 lines coming from Jacques et Annie. Numéro 3. Thomas et Alice sont les parents de Louise et de Marina. Thomas et Alice sont les parents de Louise et de Marina. Rose est la fille de Jacques et elle est célibataire. Rose est la fille de Jacques et elle est célibataire. Célibataire means single. She's not married. Thérèse est la tante de Louise. So Thérèse est la tante de Louise. Marc est l'oncle de Marina et le père de Marguerite. Le père de Marguerite. You should be able to fill in Marc et Marguerite somewhere. Émilie est la cousine de Marina. Émilie est la cousine de Marina. Pierre est le fils de Thérèse. Pierre est le fils de Thérèse. So here's your answers. You had Annie et Jacques are the grands-parents de Marina. Rose is the single daughter over there. The parents of Marina are Thomas and Alice. Her sister is Louise. Then we had Thérèse et Marc, and their three children, Émilie, Pierre, and Marguerite. I hope you got all those right. On the back, here you've got another family tree. Jacques et Marceline Langlois are the grandparents. Then you've got the parents line, their children, and then you've got the cousins down there, Pauline, Céleste, Marc, Sylvestre, and Aurélie. So fill in the blanks with the correct person that corresponds to what it's talking about. So numéro 1, le père de Sylvestre est, so fill in your blank. René. La femme de Jacques est, remember what is la femme? La femme de Jacques est, should be Marceline. Le mari d'Anne-Marie est, le mari d'Anne-Marie est, what is le mari? It's the husband, so that would be Bernard. Les filles de Bernard sont Pauline et Céleste. Les fils de Marceline sont les fils. Should be Jean-Yves et René for the sons of Marceline. I hope you got all those right as well. All right, we're going to skip the speaking practice here. Actually, we're going to do this as a writing practice. So you're hosting a party in France. You're going to introduce the following people. You have Jean-Marc, and you've got in parentheses cousin and Sylvie. So what you're going to say is Jean-Marc is the cousin of Sylvie. So the answer that you're going to write out, for example, is in the bubble there. Jean-Marc est le cousin de Sylvie. Okay? So numéro 1, you have Carole, who's the cousin of Jacques. Michel, the friend of Caroline. So go ahead and write those out, 1 through 7, please. And you can pause the video here. All right, for the rest of class, please work on the devoir, la page 83, activité 1, et la page 140, activité A1 et 2. Merci, bon week-end!